This is Rudkowski of WeAreChange.org. I am here in Copenhagen, Denmark, joined by the one and only Mark Anderson. He is Jim Tucker's protege. Jim Tucker has been a very, very important, pivotal human being who has uncovered Bilderberg. Now, luckily, Mark Anderson is here to keep up the amazing work. Now, Mark, this year is a very special year for Bilderberg. Why is this year so different than any other years?
Well, one of the things that immediately comes to mind is, of course, the Eurosceptic elections, where so many populist nationalist parties are rebelling with their vote against the European consolidation that Bilderberg started in 1954 when the group was founded to merge Europe together. They called it Unite Europe, and they thought it would prevent war, but it's just created a larger war machine. And so high in the minds of Bilderberg here in 2014 is this pivotal, and I think somewhat unexpected from their view, backlash by the populist nationalist parties against more European growth, consolidation, and expansionism. That's got to be worrying them a lot. That's one of the most unique things that comes to mind right off the bat here in 2014. Of course, what Russia did regarding Ukraine and Crimea happened fairly recently, just this past March. That's going to be high on their agenda because whatever you may think of Vladimir Putin, it does run against the grain of the European Union and NATO expansionism, which of course has the full blessing of Bilderberg.
Yeah, it seems like there's a big fight for total control with the most powerful people trying to come together and consolidate as much power as they can, with people fighting back as much as they can, and that's why they're trying to push through the TPP. That's why they're trying to keep everything with their agenda. But it hasn't always been that easy for them. What do you think are the major obstacles standing in the way of the Bilderberg's plan?
Populism is one of them. The elections we mentioned and all the sentiment that led to those elections. Jim Tucker, my predecessor, wrote 10 years ago that they wanted an Asia-Pacific Union to go along with the European Union and the North American Union. And obviously the Trans-Pacific Partnership, the other trade deal besides the Transatlantic and Trade Investment Partnership, which is US-EU, the Trans-Pacific Partnership is an outgrowth of the Asian-Pacific Union that Tucker was writing about 10 years ago. In other words, it's taken them 10 years and they're still not there on their Asia-Pacific Union. The TPP is an outgrowth of that Asia-Pacific Union that they were talking about 10 years ago. I think some of the obstacles is their own unrealism in their plans. To consolidate the whole world is such a cumbersome and unwieldy and difficult thing to do. And I think sometimes their arrogance and their hubris overlooks the difficulty. You know, they get into these things, they don't realize about the backlash and the difficulties involved. So that's one of many things, is that they're trying to push a boulder uphill and it keeps rolling back.
Yeah, and they openly brag how this secretive institution here behind this, the Bilderberg Group, helped created the European Union. We know from other reports that major defense missile strategies were decided here with Condoleezza Rice. We know that they brag and say that they must implement the policy that's discussed here, even though the mainstream media labels it as, you know, there's crazy conspiracy theorists outside of a meeting that powerful people are in. You know, but it's just amazing that there's a lot of disinformation about what's really happening and what Bilderberg really is. What do you think is something that people out there should know regarding Bilderberg?
They should know that this is private governance and that the Bilderberg Group, or Bilderberg Meetings as they like to call it, is something akin roughly to a Senate, and their brethren in the US-based Trilateral Commission formed in 1973, 19 years after Bilderberg, is sort of like the House. Yeah. It's kind of a bicameral private governance system and group they've put together, and it's collusive between corporations and government. It's where corporations and government and banks and entrenched connected media moguls, this is where they break bread. Yep. This is where they collude. This is backroom deals. If conspiracy is collusion and collaboration and backroom deals, this is what I want everyone to know, this is de facto proof that not all conspiracies are theories. Yeah. That there's such a thing as a conspiracy fact. If two kids plot to steal a candy bar, that's a conspiracy. Yeah. Now, don't even attempt to tell me that all this wealth and all this power under one roof is not in some way a Boss Tweed kind of collusive setup. Yeah. It is. And so, you know, all the denial that they encourage us to, they encourage us to doubt ourselves. They encourage the activists to doubt their own actions by labeling that, the fact, or trying to say that all conspiracies are theories. And that's the thing to really stress, that Bilderberg is proof that not all conspiracies are theories.
If we want an example of a corporatocracy, it's right here. It's right behind us. There's nothing more else relevant than what's happening here. Big oil, big banks, military-industrial complex, meeting with our politicians and representatives here in secret with all these police officers, sniper teams on the roof, harassing, threatening, and arresting journalists. I mean, it's just insane. And then, very few mainstream media outlets are here. But I think that's something that is good, because independent media, real journalism, is actually being highlighted and found by people who are actually looking for it and hungry for it.
Yeah, they're giving us market share by not being here. You're absolutely right, Luke. And it's just as well that they shoot themselves in the foot. I don't see Bo Lidegard, the editor-in-chief of Politiken, here, or is he inside? I don't see him covering it. He was at the Trilateral Commission in Washington that I managed to exclusively cover in late May in D.C., that just didn't get the attention that Bilderberg gets, and I think that's part of the design. They want to steer everything toward the angst at Bilderberg, and ignore their brethren in the Trilateral Commission, ignore their brethren in the Atlantic Council. And just because those groups are nominally more open doesn't mean they're less collusive.
Yes.
They're all part of the network. And so Bo Lidegard, if you're out there, if you see this, I would ask you to cover this and don't abuse the public trust, don't betray the public trust, don't go inside like you did at Trilateral and break bread with these guys. Put the public first, put the public interest first, and put Politiken on a higher level. But if you don't, you're just giving the alternative media market share, and down goes your media empire, word by word, reader by reader, subscriber by subscriber.
We're doing it one day at a time. Mark Anderson, thank you so much. Your link will be in the description below. Stay tuned to WeAreChange.org for more coverage.